We got another really good question, actually. He was talking about populations of homelessness. There usually is a very large focus on inner city homelessness, and he was actually talking about sort of rural, like, experience.
We are one of the largest counties in Pennsylvania. We have three things that most counties don't have. We have urban, suburban, and rural. Every 6 months, there's a point-in-time survey that's completed by the county. The only persons that are counted in that count are the ones who touch a homeless service that day. So our statistics are not really accurate because we really don't know the suburban and then the rural result of how many people there are. It doesn't extend out far enough. We've actually gotten to the point where we have hospitals participating. Where we could get more accurate counts is if we could get larger entities involved. PennDOT alone could be so helpful in increasing those counts. They see people that we don't always see. City Works would be another one. You know, like Public Works, that would be another entity that could help. But gaining that collaboration is very, very difficult. So no, we really don't know the true numbers of homeless that are suburban and rural. We don't.
But also another like part of that, I just was thinking is that, and this isn't always the case, like this is just like a random thing, but usually in rural communities, not always, but there tends to be more tighter knit communities because there aren't as many people like that you're living around. Like, I mean, I speak to where I grew up. Like, I had one gentleman that lived in the street. He was a Vietnam vet who just did not acclimate back to his lifestyle, and he lived actually in a dumpster. And when he became too old, he actually had a stroke, and he was put into an autumn care facility. It was like our only nursing home in like the whole area. He actually wanted to continue to sleep outside, but he was the one person that we knew of, and that was because of the type of community that I grew up in. I mean, and I believe there are statistics that say like certain communities that are more tight knit, there are decisions that don't have to be made that lead to essentially becoming homeless. Like if I, for instance, like lost my ability to drive, you know, I might be able to barter with somebody else in my community, and so therefore I wouldn't lose my job, and then, you know, through losing my job have to apply for disability. Like that just doesn't even begin that cycle. So, but you know, there certainly obviously is rural homelessness like that. I'm still learning.
So we have
a lot of the homeless are Vietnam vets. That particular era.
Well, out of our veterans that are homeless, that would be one of the largest populations of Vietnam veterans. So, and that could be because of a multitude of reasons.
Right.
Agents that they were exposed to while they were over there that caused a lot of issues. Could be medical issues, it could be psychiatric issues. Not being debriefed well when they came back, not being received well back by the United States population in general, stigma that went with it. There's so many facets to the Vietnam era. So, the drugs that were done during that era, inclusive.
But you can even go back to, you know, World War I. I mean, you know, people like
It's called shell shock.
Yeah, exactly.
World War II.
Like, we're talking about a
it was shell
completely
shock.
different type of, you
That's
know.
all. You're suffering shell shock. It's no big deal.
Exactly.
Shell shock.
So,
But those are men and women, though, that were not treated the same way that Vietnam War vets were. So, and I'd have to say with our current war, we probably are not receiving a lot of our troops back as well as we probably could. And if we're, it causes me concern for what our outcomes will be. So, but I am hoping that they're debriefed better. At least debriefed better. So debriefing is an essential part after any